Hey everyone, Gill Gross here. Post-match, Rafael Nadal versus Jannik Sinner, fourth round, 2021, Roland Garros. If you're not here for spoilers, click off the video in 3, 2, 1. Well, similar to 2020, very similar. Jannik Sinner serves for the first set, but falls in straights. This time it is 7-5, 6-3, 6-love, as Rafa Nadal gets better and better throughout the match and ultimately polishes off the young Italian, the 18 seed, with a bagel set. This was looking like it was potentially going to be a war, potentially going to be a major challenge for Nadal early on, because what happened was something that happens sometimes in Nadal matches where he doesn't quite yet have his confidence, and therefore everything is going cross court. Things are landing short, a little bit spinnier, a little bit slower, and all the credit to Jannik Sinner. Sinner took that tendency that Nadal has to play a little bit safer off the start, just try to get comfortable, gain some confidence and some timing. And Sinner said, oh, you're going to hit it a little bit short and a little bit slower? Well, I'm going to absolutely annihilate the ball. And it was a scintillating start from Jannik Sinner in this match, just hitting Nadal off the court, not even hitting that many winners, but hitting so big that Nadal just couldn't really absorb it, forcing a lot of errors just with his sheer pace. And Sinner got himself into a position where he was serving for the first set. Again, just massive hitting for the most part. And maybe demons came into play. Maybe, but I'm not 100% sure. Sinner served for the first set last year when these two played at Roland Garros, as I alluded to at the top. And Sinner does not play a good game here at 5-4. But at the same time, Jannik's game, he puts a lot of pressure on himself because he doesn't get any help from his serve. And he has to be playing this aggressive brand of tennis, point in, point out, when every single serve is coming back. He gets no free points. He gets no easy +1 opportunities, at least against a returner as good as Rafa Nadal on clay. So you get the feeling that every single time Jannik Sinner comes to the baseline ready to serve any given point, that he is going to need to come up with something special just to win it. And that is a lot of pressure for anyone, regardless of what happened in 2020, just to serve out the set. And you have to keep repeating that over and over again, especially because of the brand of tennis that Sinner was playing to win, which was legitimately his average forehand speed was up around 90 miles per hour. That is absurdity. It was literally 88 miles per hour. Like, what is that? That is never an average forehand speed. That is off the charts. To build yourself a lead on that, basically what I'm trying to say is maybe he just can't execute that style under pressure, and it's not a sustainable way to beat Rafa Nadal. It's looking like that is more so the case. Whatever it may be, Nadal goes on a run here. Sinner misses some forehands at that 5-4 game, double faults the game away. And Nadal with a really good return game at 5-6 with the help of two forehand unforced errors. One came on the heels of amazing defense by Nadal, but ultimately good return game by 5-6, and the first set goes to Nadal. From now on, I'm not going to go through specific points in the match. It was one-way traffic. It was Rafa Nadal's court. But let's talk about why this fell apart for Sinner and some of the advantages that Nadal had in this match. So first of all, Rafa struggled on his second serve. It was suspect throughout the entirety of the match, and I think that's what Nadal will be focusing on the practice courts this week and moving forward, is improving that second serve. He double faulted 7 times and protected it at a clip in the low 40% range. But his first serve was setting up his forehand beautifully, and he started to get a good feel for the forehand. The +1 game becomes really difficult to deal with for anyone. So Nadal had 24 finishes. That means winners plus forced errors. 24 finishes to 9 unforced errors on points 0 through 4 shots on his own serve. And on 80%, a little bit over 80% of his service points, his first shot was a forehand. So it goes to show you he hits a serve. He's generally getting it to Sinner's backhand. He's pulling him off the court. It's going to be really hard. Sinner's going to need to hit an incredible down-the-line return on the ad side just to get it to Nadal's backhand. Or he's going to have to hit a backhand inside out to get it to Nadal's backhand on the deuce side. And that's where Nadal's leftiness comes into play. It's very difficult for how good his slice serve is and the fact that he's a lefty against a righty. It's very difficult for the right-hander to get it to Nadal's backhand on the return of serve. So he's setting up his forehand. He's hitting his forehand beautifully. And as you can see, it's leading to him finishing the points with aggression. 24 finishes to 9 unforced errors. Additionally, 4 unforced errors by Sinner in that set of points. So Nadal victimizes everyone in this way, but Sinner just doesn't have the defense to even challenge Nadal's +1 game. He doesn't have the athleticism to really break the pattern when Nadal is hitting aggressive forehands repeatedly. In this respect, Nadal has a two-way game and Sinner has a one-way game. I know I've talked about this recently with certain matchups. I think I talked about it with the Berrettini-Zverev final in Madrid. This is a matchup like that. For Sinner, it's offense or bust. For Nadal, it's either way. So I just talked about Nadal in offensive positions really feasting on Jannik Sinner. Well, let's talk about the other way and how Nadal's defense in return can affect Jannik Sinner on serve. The reality is that Jannik Sinner gets absolutely nothing out of his serve. That's part of why I think it's hard for him to close sets, because nothing comes easy. But even on a point-by-point basis, even when there's no pressure, it's a big problem against a returner as good as Nadal that he's just not gaining any advantage on his serve. So let me give you the same set of circumstances that I just told you about with Nadal. Points 0 through 4 shots on Jannik Sinner's serve. Well, Sinner had 11 finishes. Within those finishes, just one winner. The rest were forced errors. But 11 finishes to 14 unforced errors. He was missing more than he was finishing points in that subset, in that category, 0 through 4 shots. And ultimately, look, Nadal won 59% of his return points. So the stats suggest that Sinner was essentially playing from neutral immediately. Although I know, as someone who watched the match, I know that's not true. I know that Sinner wasn't playing from neutral immediately always. And there were some times that Sinner got to tee off early. But the problem is there were too many errors on Sinner's low margin +1 play. Much more low margin compared to Nadal. And also Nadal's neutralizing capabilities come into play here. His athleticism, his ability to turn defense to offense, or even just extend the rallies past those 4 shots and to try to dig his way back into a point. I was so impressed with Nadal's defense in this match. It's probably at the top of my list for things that impressed me with Nadal's game. And it seemed like his anticipation was incredible, that he was a step ahead of Jannik Sinner, that he was always leaning the right way, and he was anticipating Jannik Sinner's shots beautifully. Maybe that's what happens when these guys get too familiar with each other, and Sinner's disguise might not be at the level that he'd want it to be. The best forehands in the game, the best backhands in the game, not only are they heavy and well placed and, they have a lot of spin and all that, they're also really difficult to read. And I felt like Nadal was reading Sinner like a book in this match. He was always in the right spot, and he was also doing really well just out of the corners to put quality on the ball, to dig himself out of these defensive positions. So I think in order for Sinner to actually finish Nadal on this surface, he needs to improve his net game and utilize the width of the court better. He needs to look at how Stefanos Tsitsipas or a Roger Federer would go about attacking a great defender like Nadal on this surface. Sinner hit 11 winners. It's not a lot. Nadal hit 31, but I really think that low number is just a product of him not using angles well enough and not being able to go up to the net to finish, because someone who strikes the ball as cleanly as Sinner, who hits as big as Sinner, there's no reason why they should only be finishing a match, or there's no reason that he should be out-winnered by Nadal by such a wide margin. So this match really put a stake in the rivalry between Sinner and Nadal. And in 3 matches, 2 of them in majors, Jannik is still yet to take a set. And while, yes, they were on clay and clay is Nadal's best surface. It's also Sinner's best surface. Yet again, Sinner served for a set, but it's now clear that Nadal has a firm handle on Jannik's base level. Jannik needs to improve his serve, his net game, and his movement if he wants to compete with this version of Nadal. That much is very, very clear. Hopefully, the young Italian stops drawing Nadal, because I feel bad for him. Rome and Roland Garros should be his two best tournaments, and now 3 straight matches he's faced the king of clay. Good one for Nadal. Got in a great rhythm there. Moved great. Played great off the ground. And his first serve did the trick. He just needs to work on his second serve on the practice court. I'm sure he'll do that, and we'll monitor it as he moves forward. Next one versus Diego Schwartzman. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.